What do you want? You, cat, you. Are you going to tell the people who we are? And by people, I mean the individuals so graceful enough to invite us in.
To their house.
Well, we don't know if they're home. They may be at a Starbucks. They may be at a courthouse.
They'll go into their phone or tablet.
You know, it could be some person in the New York jail who was smuggled a cell phone by a guard, the same guard who's on administrative leave. You know, that was supposed to be checking on Jeffrey Epstein every 30 minutes, but who knows?
Well, this is Miles, and I'm Colin, and you're watching the Colin and Miles show.
And Hank's behind.
He must trust you.
Here we go. So, tell us what the shirts are about. Or them, rather.
Disco is short for Discovery, which is the ship on the new Star Trek Discovery. I like calling it Disco because that seems way cooler than DSC or DIS or however they want to abbreviate it. I really just like
DSC or whatever.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
And then one time I saw STD.
Wow.
So I like Disco much.
They're
better.
definitely pushing the boundaries of like what was in the older Star Trek. I mean, Captain Kirk was, arguably a very hands-on with the ladies.
Is this where I hit you?
No, the other side.
I'm sorry. Is that better?
But I don't know. I feel like the Star Trek Discovery is a lot more what really would happen in space as far as like the science part, not necessarily like the human interaction part. Because I don't necessarily think a queen from some distant planet would visit Tilly and, oh, you're my best friend.
Maybe she would.
Yeah.
She was just a teenager.
Oh, okay.
And that was a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Spoiler alert!
Are there only 2 seasons?
Yes.
Oh.
3 is coming out next year sometime probably.
I just think it's crazy that season 2 storyline, when it comes to the prime timeline, how now we're suddenly supposed to believe that Spock will never speak of his sister, and there's some X amount of years in the future. So we're doing this workout right now with
We're doing the 100 glute challenge with Cassie Ho from Blogilates.
yeah, she's kind of strange.
She's not strange. She's nice. She seems like someone you'd want to meet and just talk to and not be intimidated by.
Oh, you've been intimidated by her. Are her glutes like really, really big or
intimidated
something?
by any people I follow on YouTube because like they're stars. They're like important people to me.
Oh, okay. Bye, Hank.
Bye.
So the 100 glute challenge is if it's a one side type of workout, then you do 100 on each. So it's really a 200 glute challenge.
If you do it on both sides, like say you're doing a fire hydrant thing, then you would do 100 on the left and 100 on the right. But if it's just a thing that you do both sides together, like bridge or whatever, then it's just 100. And I think that's unfair because she didn't do that with the 100 ab challenge.
Colin has gracefully allowed me into her workout, so I don't get all fat and such. She's teaching me poses. We were watching this other person teach me yoga poses, but I just realized, wait a minute, I have a yoga fiend right here.
Plus, it's faster.
Oh, much faster.
So I'm just trying to teach him basic poses so he could do yoga with me without feeling like loss.
So the balance is the biggest issue. Having a new house built for us will be nice because...
We'll have a room dedicated for yoga.
and lots of books.
Yes.
Back to Discovery, we are lost where they're going to go with season 3. I'm just interested to see where they're going to go
I really liked Captain Pike.
with it. I hear there's certain new talks with him about doing
They have been talking about it.
that guy.
They haven't announced.
What's his actual name?
Anson Mount.
He definitely stole the star of this show.
I just don't like this show since there's not a clear captain and the main character is the first officer or whatever. And it's just weird to me. It's just a weird...
Oh, and Saru and a little
Group of people.
In his species, how the wiggly things come out of his
Ugh.
head whenever he's sensing danger.
But those are gone now.
The fact that they fell out was
It always reminds me of Tom Paris when he turned into that
Yeah.
otherworldly thing when he passed work 10 and pulled his
Creepy.
tongue out. That was so disgusting.
Was it as disgusting as taking clawed ice cream scoops and scooping out someone's
They
eyes?
didn't do that, though. They didn't show that.
But it was definitely something that they would have done.
We're talking about Supernatural now, if you didn't know.
Supernatural's a great show. You should watch it.
Yeah, tune in for the last season this year.
Thank God. Hey, yeah, we need a new storyline. Sammy, let's go kill something and screw everything up.
And die, and then come back, and die again.
How many times can you visit death, go to God? Well, there's a new podcast you're listening to.
Actually, there are 3 podcasts I've been listening to. So the first one is Rachel Watches Star Trek. The husband is a Star Trek fan, and he's watched Star Trek his whole life, pretty much. And
Rightfully so.
the wife has never seen any Star
Uh-huh.
Trek. So the podcast is about them watching the original series and their comments on each episode. And it's really interesting, and eventually I'm hoping they will get to TNG, because I would like to hear their thoughts on that.
Season 3 of Star Trek Next Generation. Go.
Evolution, the instance of command, the survivors who watch... Not the survivors. Evolution, the instance of command, survivors who watches the watchers, the bonding... Booby trap, the enemy, the prize, the vengeance factor, the deflector, the hunt, the high ground, deja vu, a matter of perspective, yesterday's enterprise, the offspring, sins of the father, allegiance, captain's holiday, Tin Man, hollow pursuits, the most toys, Sarek, Menage a Troy, transfiguration, the best of both worlds, part 1.
How many episodes is that?
26? 25 or 26?
She's good. I like that I put you on the spot for that.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. This other podcast I found a couple years ago, Case File.
Case Files.
Not just Case File. It's
It reminds me of Unsolved Mysteries. Cue the music. Okay, so definitely reminds me of Unsolved Mysteries.
yeah. So a lot of the stories or cases take place in like Australia or the UK, and the anonymous host has an Australian accent.
I hope it wasn't bad.
It
Like,
reminds me of that doctor from House, Chase.
I am from Australia.
I'm just picturing this doctor telling me about these things. Okay, so
He turned down the road and was murdered cold-blooded.
other one I just found out about recently, which is a couple years old as well.
Okay.
It's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And if you don't know who Michael Rosenbaum is, I feel sad for you. He played Lex Luthor on Smallville in the early 2000s. So this podcast is him, and he interviews celebrities that he's friends with or that he knows.
And he's not bald.
Not anymore. No. He just talks to them like regular people, and they just have a conversation about their life
Yeah.
and how they became actors or athletes or whatever type of celebrity they are. And I'm only on episode 8, I think. It's been pretty interesting.
I'm making my way through audiobooks, and I'm doing podcasts, or rather listening to podcasts. Don't Give Up the Ship, The Ben Shapiro Show, Andrew Klavan Show, American Conservative by, I think it's Mark Levin. What else was I going to say?
I don't know. I'm not a telepath.
Well, you
Neither
should
am
be,
I.
because being a telepath would be great right now.
Or if we could just do a mind meld, that would be great.
Nope, not working. Wait. Oh, no, it didn't work. So, Facebook is the epitome of censorship. I am running an ad right now for my page. If you want to know what it's about, just go look up my page. Apparently, they don't like political ads or, social narrative ads, and so they want you to verify your identity. The lovely Facebook said, we need to verify your identity, take a front and back picture of your license. Okay, now that we have that, we are going to snail mail you a 6-digit alphanumeric code in order to verify you are who you say you are. It'll take 3 to 7 business days. But they rejected the ad, and just to be clear, this is the ad on the screen. It says, socialism, not now, not tomorrow, never. Pretty straightforward, because socialism sucks. And if you disagree, well, read a history book. I had submitted all the required things, and then I got it 4 days later, the letter, and I went and I clicked in. They said, oh, congratulations, you verified your ID. And then I went in, I edited the ad where it says, this is a social post, and they declined it. They came back and said, no, you haven't verified your ID. So I sent a screenshot of showing that it said by Facebook, thank you for verifying your ID. And then I resubmit it. Well, no. Facebook is all about, controlling the social narrative. So they say, wait a minute. We're going to say this guy didn't click that social issue button that says this is a social or political issue. I resubmitted it. I took a screenshot with the timestamp, and then they kicked it back to me again saying it wasn't clicked. So I sent another message, and again, all of the responses I'm getting are essentially a boilerplate reply message to where it says, hi, you contacted Facebook, this is the reason, and then it's just a standard paragraph. Either you did not verify your ID, or this is a political social issue, and you need to select as much. After I messaged them the third time, it got approved. Finally, it got approved. And then fast forward to today, I want to make a change to my audience because I feel like I need to refine my audience better. And I just changed the age, and I'm using my phone. On my phone, I can change my audience and, what the actual post itself says. I do not, however, have the option to select social issue or deselect social issue. So there's an algorithm on Facebook that took off my check mark of an ad that successfully ran for 2 days, flagged it as inappropriate, rejected it. I emailed them today. I say, hey, you guys rejected it, but I've been running this for 2 days, and they sent me again the boilerplate response. So I sent them another screenshot, and they rejected it again. And so I finally asked them, what am I doing wrong here? It took them all of, 4 grand rejections this time around to finally approve the message. The reality is that Facebook is actively censoring conservative voices. I'm not saying I'm a voice by any standard, but I have one, and I like to talk. She says I like to talk, and I like talking to random people, whoever they are, even cats.
And this is Paddington, by the way, not the same cat that was up here earlier.
We have 2 different orange cats. We call them Aoks. Now, again, the correlation between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her initials being Aok and the definition of Aok being annoying orange cats. Both individuals are annoying. Just
These are cuter.
yeah, and much more bearable whenever they're whining. With these guys, our cats, you just get meow all the time. With the actual Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, you just get free stuff, free stuff, free stuff, free stuff. Not the brightest.
Yes, but anyway, I came up with the term AOC because annoying orange cat. He has one black hair there by his ear. And then our other cat, Alice, is not annoying at all.
No,
She's not orange.
every night she cuddles up in Colin's lap, and it's the most adorable thing. She's like, "Oh, look at me! I've got a place to go."
Yeah, and she doesn't complain like the other two.
Yeah. So, what else do we have to talk about today?
Recently, we went to the Statue of Liberty
Yeah, and you went there again.
with my parents, who came to see me.
Yes, and the first time was pretty nice, I guess.
We got pedestal tickets.
And this time, apparently there are 2 museums, and the museum we went into was really small, and I'm like, why are all artifacts not here, and why is it such a small museum and only like 3 people here? Apparently there was another museum that she found out whenever she went this time.
Yeah, it was a lot nicer. They had like a replica of the statue's foot, so you could see how large it is. And they had a bunch of they had the original torch in the museum.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and just a lot of cool info that we didn't really have time to see all of it because we also had to head over to Ellis Island, so
Look,
we could.
a second, and
And they hate each other. Well, he doesn't like him.
he's afraid of everything.
Except us, apparently. But anyway, then we went to Ellis Island, and we went that museum. You need to stay there like a whole day, I think. And even at that point, you might not have time to see everything. But I think if we go to Ellis Island, we need to take an audio tour and walk around.
Definitely, I like that.
Ear, but you can also plug in headphones to them,
Oh, that's
so you
good.
don't have to hold it up to your ear, and just have a person tell us about the thing instead of reading everything. 'Cause that took a long time. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
But you don't know, you weren't there.
No, I was at the island.
You weren't on Ellis Island.
Okay, I didn't go to Ellis Island.
Because we missed the ferry by 5 minutes.
Sorry about that. But, yeah, other than that, expect new things soon.
Yes, and expect more of our opinions because we really don't care if you agree with us. If
No.
you don't, you can not watch.
Yeah, it's that easy. That's a great thing about America, huh? You can just not listen. You don't have to listen to anyone that you disagree with.
Yeah,
But
and you
it's-
don't have to be rude to them either.
Yeah, but it's always nice to have a conversation.
Yes.
Now it's time for conversations with my wife. So tell me, what is it you'd like to say to the drivers of our lovely United States?
That they should be nicer. That, there are a lot of bad drivers that I have to drive with them to work and to come back home every day. And it stresses me out because they could be a lot more conscientious, a lot more considerate and thoughtful, and not be so self-absorbed, and they could follow the speed limits and not tailgate.
How fast do you go?
I'd say on the highway when you're supposed to drive 65, they drive like 80 probably. I don't know. It seems like that. Or more. I don't know. And then like in the areas where we were supposed to drive 50, that doesn't happen. And I often have to speed to like exit the highway or to get onto the highway just so I'm not, trampled by the stampede of idiots that are driving. And I feel like driving here has changed me, and I'm more like aggressive, and I get road rage, and I'm not like, I get angry because people don't follow the rules and they don't follow anything and they're not nice. So yeah.
follow the rules.
Yes, and drivers, be nicer. Let people in. Let people on the highway. I mean, unless they're the idiots that are coming in like 20 miles an hour. Then, like, I can't help you. I can't help them. But be nicer and let people in. Don't honk unless you're about to be hit. There's no other time that you should be honking at people. And that's about all.
So you may have noticed the camera moved a little, but we took a moment to shoot Colin's Corner. One thing we wanted to bring up was the Impossible Whopper.
Yes.
It was actually pretty good.
It's a 0% meat burger.
Yeah.
Plant-based.
From Burger King, if you didn't know that they had Whoppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
But
highly
it-
recommend.
Yeah, I'd say it is decent to try. What I will also say is that the fries are, still not as good as Wendy's, but
That's a lie. Wendy's fries are soggy. Burger King's fries are nice and crispy. But McDonald's fries always win, I think. I think everyone could agree with that.
until next time, which will be sooner rather than later, until next time, original line here,
I'm Colin.
and I'm Kilometers, if you were in Europe.
Bye.
How about we just make up our own thing?
Oh, because you do that all the time.
What?
You make up your own things all the time.
Like what?
You steal things. I'm being sarcastic. You steal everybody's line.
Okay, yeah.
Like The Office is just you in a nutshell. Because you stole it all.
Wait, hold on, I'll do the gym look.